Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Samantha and this is On the Hill, where we talk all things biblical womanhood, homemaking, modesty, intentional living, and just overall lifestyle. And on today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I have found myself struggling with in marriage as of lately, and just conversations I've been having with the Pursuing Biblical Womanhood community. If you don't know about that community, I'll leave some information below in the description box, but just conversations I've been having around this idea of feeling entitled as a woman, feeling entitled as a wife, feeling entitled even as a mother, and to the point where you become so consumed with you and how you feel and how things are affecting you that you kind of get lost in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get very self-focused. And so I wanted to have a little talk about that today. So the first thing, that I was kind of like just thinking about and just paying attention to was how individualized our society has become. When we look at, times historically or even in the Bible, we look at how things were very much about the family. Things were very much about the culture. Things were very much about the nation and society. Whereas today, I feel like it has become very about me and how I feel, and do what serves you and do what makes you feel good. And if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't make you feel good, then cut it off, right? Like, we've definitely picked up this individualized mindset. And I realized it recently when I was interacting with my husband, and I just found myself in this place where I was frustrated, and I felt as though, it's gonna sound like really childish, but like when I think back on it, I'm like, girl up, right? Like, grow up. But I was thinking like, oh, I don't know if I was watching a movie or a show, and sometimes like you're watching something and you see how like the guy buys her flowers, or like, he just does all of these like lovey-dovey, like cutesy type of things, right? And not that my husband never does those things, but he doesn't do it all the time, right? And sometimes the man's head is in a million other places. He's trying to provide for our family. He has a lot of stress on him right now, a lot of pressure on his back with, just our future and things that he's trying to get into motion. And here I am, and probably because I'm pregnant, which if you didn't check out my last video on our pregnancy announcement, we are pregnant with baby number 3, and we're really excited about it. I'll share more in another video, but maybe some of it is like my emotions, but I'm the type of person, like, I don't like to just be like, oh, I'm pregnant, so that's why I'm acting the way I'm acting. Like, no. Yes, maybe my hormones and pregnancy has something to do with it, but this is an issue I had before being pregnant. And it's this selfish, individualized mindset. And so here I am watching these shows and these movies, and these husbands are doing all of these, like, just, you know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, that just feeds your emotions. It feeds you, right? And my husband's not doing it, right? But what he is doing, he's going to work every day. He's working hard. He's working hard to the point where I'm able to stay home with our children and homeschool and take care of the home. I'm able to run our businesses from the home. Like, that is what he is doing, right? And so I got convicted because, one, I was comparing my marriage to these make-believe TV shows and, relationships that are not real, right? I was comparing it to what I was looking at on social media. But then also like realizing just how ungrateful I was and how I was getting so fixated on feeling. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel loved, right? And I was being led by my emotions rather than being led by, one, the Holy Spirit, but also just like logic, right? Like, not being so fixated on how you feel, but what is he doing, Samantha? You know what I'm saying? And so I had to catch myself. And again, like, when I look at times historically, when I look at times in the Bible, you see how even when a father married his daughter, when he was giving her away, it wasn't this, oh, I want someone that's going to buy her flowers every day. I want someone that's going to make her feel good. The thought behind it is like, who do I want to be a part of my family? Like, who can continue the legacy? Like, who can bring her godly offspring? Who can she serve well? Like, it was all about, the family unit. It was all about community. It was all about like the nation, the building of the nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we focus on today. We focus on more shallow things. And so I was extremely convicted by that. And, I had just been just thinking even today, like how we just get so fixated on that. Buy me flowers. He didn't rub my feet. He didn't say I love you back. He didn't do all of these things. Like, just getting caught up in emotions and feelings and feeling entitled, right? Like, and feeling entitled, like I do so much that I deserve this. Like, it's so much of like what I deserve because I do this, rather than this is the man that I am joined with. We are a unit. And so it's not about how, he makes me feel. I shouldn't get fixated and caught up on that. It should be about like, how well can I serve him? How well can I glorify the Lord in our marriage in the way that I'm serving him? How well can I serve my children in raising up godly offspring? Like, how well can I truly like glorify the Lord in giving my life unto him and to those that he has blessed me to give it to, such as my husband and my children and those in my community. Like, not looking for what I can get, but what can I give? Right? And I'm not talking about burn yourself out, burn yourself to the ground and, not have boundaries and not taking care of yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is just being very mindful that we are not feeding so much on what society has taught us that relationship is about or life is about. Like, yes, like I definitely do things that I enjoy and that bring me happiness and that bring me satisfaction, but just making sure that you're not just living for that, and making sure that our priority is one, to glorify God. It's to glorify him. And, and what does that look like? What does that look like in your life? And what season of life are you in to where you are able to glorify him through your actions, through serving, through helping other people, and not having this entitled mindset of like, well, what can you do for me? Something else that I've been really working on is truly surrendering. Surrendering as a daughter of the Most High, and, the purpose that he's given me as a helper to those around me, as a helper to my husband, as a helper to my children, as a helper to my community, like really surrendering that. And again, like, I'm not getting on the extreme of saying like, don't take care of yourself, don't balance, don't have boundaries. But there is this fight that sometimes I've found with pouring out, because there was still this like level of selfishness of like, okay, yeah, I'm going to pour out, and yeah, I'm going to do for my husband, and yeah, I'm going to take care of my children. But what about me? What about me mindset? Like, what are you going to do for me? Well, what about my self-care time? Well, what about my time away from the children? What, you know what I'm saying? Like, just this, what about me? This, again, this entitled or, just self-focused attitude. And one of the things I'm working on is just like really surrendering, really, really coming to the place where I surrender and I accept, like, I have been given the purpose to help. And when you help, I can't remember what scripture it is. I'm going a little blank, but it talks about like with true love, like with pure love, the love of Christ, like there's no record of wrongdoing, and so I would challenge to say the same thing. Like, when you are doing something from a place of love, when you are truly serving from a place of love, there should be no record keeping. There shouldn't be I'm going to do this, but like in the back of my mind, I'm wondering what you're going to do for me in return. Right? And so when I think about Christ and when I think about what he did on the cross, I don't think he had the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to go and die. But like, what are you going to do for me in return? Because the reality is, it's like he gave his life, and yet there's so many people that still he gave his life for the very people that still have yet to turn to him and give their lives back. He gave his life for people that have still yet to even acknowledge him. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying to go around and let people use you and rag you, you know, just drag you through the mud and run you raggedy. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to get to the place where we give and we serve and we love without this what about me mindset. We have to be able to give and love and serve without thinking about ourselves, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And so I even had that mindset with my children. It was like, I'm doing all of these things for my kids, but I don't know, like I found myself like super frustrated if I didn't get, you know, if I felt like they were interrupting me, or if I felt like they were bothering me. And so I realized like a lot of it is even like mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you look at your role of serving? Like, is it something that you wake up every day and say like, I am happy to serve my husband, I'm happy to serve my children, I'm happy to serve our home, and I'm not looking for anything in return. I'm just happy to do what the Most High has created me to do, and that is to be a helper, to help. Like, I am happy to do that. I am honored. This is an opportunity, a privilege to be able to do this. And so I'm not going to get overly concerned with my mommy's trip and when I'm going to get time away from myself and my self-care days. But I'm just going to serve as though I'm serving unto the Lord. And I know that He's such a good Father that He takes care of me. He takes care of me. He will take care of me. He will give me those opportunities, those small moments throughout the day to just breathe, or my children are playing alone and I just have a moment in solitude to just think, you know. But I think, again, like society has taught us that do all of these things, but you need your girls' trip away. You need your time by yourself. You need to be able to go shopping and walk around Target baby free. Like, you deserve that, girl. You've been home with these babies all day. You deserve it. You know, and I had to get out of that mindset. Like, respectfully, I don't deserve time away from my children. That's the wrong mindset to have. I don't deserve a self-care day. I don't deserve a mommy's trip away. If I get it, thanks be unto God, like, for blessing me and, you know, for opening that opportunity. But if I don't get it, it's okay. Like, how can we get to the place where we find joy in serving, where if we get nothing in return, we are okay. We are satisfied with the Lord enough. We're satisfied. And that's what it comes down to. Like, how satisfied are you in the Lord enough? If you get nothing in return, if you get nothing more, are you satisfied with Him alone? Are you satisfied with Him alone? And so hopefully this video wasn't all over. Hopefully I made my point. But if this video resonated with you guys, definitely leave a comment below. Subscribe to this channel. Share this video with another wife, another mama that you know it could encourage today. And let me know some other video ideas or just content ideas that you guys would like to see below. Have a good one.